Hey, everybody. I'm Inger, and welcome to my page. So, I am a community organizer by training. I've been an organizer for over 2 decades, and I recently, 2 years ago, started learning about a practice called story circles, and I want to teach it to people. So, I am currently an educator. I have been an organizer for over 2 decades. I've worked all over Nevada and Oregon, where I live. And I've been really fortunate and blessed to have come across a strategic, like, community engagement model called Story Circles. And I'm building this YouTube page in part because I really want to do be in community with other people who are doing the work. And when I say the work, I mean community organizing, convening people and having conversations. We are in a new season in our country, and there's just a lot of change and a lot of upheaval and a lot of energy happening. And my goal with starting this page around this strategy called Story Circles is to talk a little bit about my own journey using the practice in the field of education where I currently work. And I think story circles, just for some background, they are an ancient practice that goes back millennia. They offer a very unique approach to addressing today's conflicts around maybe connection and building relationships across differences. And story circles are designed to build empathy. They're designed to build understanding. They're designed for us to be able to share about ourselves and our lived experience or lack of lived experience in a circle, and listen and learn from one another. Story circles really lends itself to constructivist listening, which means that, it is a process to learn how to listen, intentionally listen, authentically listen to other people as they're telling you a story, as you're learning about how to connect, and as you're hearing what they're saying, you're not processing a response. And so for me, this page is for anybody, whether you're an educator, a community leader, or someone who is trying to foster meaningful dialogue and connection during your work, whether you're a human resources person, whether you're a trained and skilled facilitator, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a community leader, whether you're um, religious leader. Story circles is really a strategy that equips us to lead these spaces and hold the container for community, and do the work that's called upon us to do in times where there is a lot of upheaval, where there is sometimes an disconnect in connection and building rapport with one another. So I welcome you all to my story circle space, to learning more about what it is that I do here in my practice around story circles. And my goal is also to lead you all through how to utilize story circles in your own practice. So I have trained hundreds of people in the practice of story circles, and I really love it as a tool that I've used in my own work. Like I said, as somebody who's done education as a community organizer. And my goal is to, skill you up in the practice. And if you have a background maybe in restorative justice that's similar to those community circles, story circles lend themselves to utilizing two things. One is a talking piece, which can be any item that's meaningful to you as a facilitator. It's also about recognizing how we share equal time in the circle so that we ensure that each person gets an opportunity to share their story without interruption. We remind people about the confidentiality that's important in the circle. We allow people to take time for silence and do whatever works for them as far as like showing up and telling their story. We ask the stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end, because that's how stories work. And we close with an intentional check out and express gratitude for folks that have participated. So my goal is to bring you a prompt a couple times a week for you all to think and ponder upon, and to potentially use in your practice. Like I said, this can be used with teachers. It can be used in community settings, town halls, focus groups. It can be used for, if you're doing interviews, you're interviewing people. So that is my goal. And I'm just going to take you through like how I use story circles and maybe weave in a little bit of my story throughout. And then we can, you can leave me questions. I can try to answer your comments. You can also check out storycircletraining.com, which is my website. And you can, if you're interested in learning more about the practice and how to use it in your work, you could schedule a session and I could talk to you a little bit about like how we would do that. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Thanks for being here. And I really do hope we get an opportunity to connect around story circles and how they might inform your work if you're convening or leading people during convenings in your work. So have a good day. Bye.